Okay, hi, I'm Rictor from After Hours with Rictor, the #1 Bigfoot webcast, and I'm here at Justin Smeja's kill site, and law enforcement is here. So, we've got a lot to talk about on the next Bigfoot show. Uh-oh.
Welcome to After Hours. My name is Rictor. I am your host.
Rictor!
What?
Leave him alone! It's Judgment Day for Sasquatch.
Thanks for dropping me like a stud.
Yeah, we got Rictor going. We're going to have to hear about it all night. That's a bunch of screaming memes out there, and that's the scoop that has been reported so far.
By your opinion that you are no-kill, you are dooming the species to be extinct.
Well, when you don't believe in Bigfoot, everything you see that might be one is something else.
We thought that we had the holy grail of DNA.
When are we going to make a video, Rictor? And I mean not an X-rated one.
Dr. Todd, you've also been called the scoff dick.
Yeah, well.
You can't talk about
I can't!
Hello? Is this thing on? Am I muted? Can you hear me?
Hey, Rictor, I've got a question for you. How does it feel to lose Bigfoot Bounty?
My question is, why do you think Bigfoot is real?
Welcome to After Hours. I'm your host. My name is Rictor Riolo from Spike TV's $10 million Bigfoot Bounty. And joining me is the beautiful, sweet, sassy, glassy Tammy Murray, who is now officially a Bigfoot researcher to the umpteenth degree. The two of us have just come back from a Bigfoot expedition up in the Sierras, the alleged kill site. That's right. Tammy and I went to where Justin Smeja allegedly shot and killed a Bigfoot and choked or shot, depending on the story, the little one. So, there we are with other researchers. Unfortunately, Bart Catino couldn't make it. However, Kipp Morrill, Ro Sahebi, Shawn Evidence. Oh, wait, what's that gator guy from Florida, Tammy? What's his name?
Stacy Brown.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Stacy Brown came. He didn't bring the gator arm, which is too bad because it would have been kind of cool to look at it. Oh, and there was also John Harper and Theresa Finch. Of course, let's not forget Justin Smeja, and the expert Bigfoot caster Michael Lorentz was able to come up for a day. Quite a few researchers, and then there was also some paying members that joined us, and I do believe they had a great time. So, let's jump right into this. The Bigfoot community has been polarized with this subject matter, kill versus no kill. Justin Smeja's story, it's pretty outrageous, you know. It's shooting a Bigfoot and leaving the body. It's his story and no one else's story. The things that corroborate him is the evidence, the ongoing investigations there in the Sierras by other researchers, like Bart Catino's thermal footage when he was up there a couple years ago. And you know what? I gotta say, Tammy, things are pretty squatchy up there in the Sierras. What do you think?
I totally agree, Rick. It gives you a whole new perspective when you're at the actual location. And I have to say, more so on Bart's thermal than on the actual kill site, because you actually saw some living creatures on Bart's thermal, and to see the location where that was shot really gave some perspective on where they were in relation to the people that were down in camp. So that was very interesting to me, and that was also I had a special little experience near where Bart shot his thermal video.
Well, I saw where those trees were, considering where we were sitting by the barbecue area.
Mm-hmm.
And if those were truly indeed Sasquatch watching Justin and Ro when Bart and Shawn were up on the high road looking down, they were very close.
Yeah, because the area is smaller than what you would imagine. It's a very tight, compact little area.
Right, and I gotta say, you know, with what Theresa saw on Saturday on the FLIR, that thing, if it was a Bigfoot, and we're going to talk about this, guys, was just as close as the creatures in Bart Catino's thermal footage. So
Yeah, well, something was back there. Something was back there.
Do you think it was a Bigfoot? You said your heart was pounding?
Yes. Because it was... Okay. So, the other thing... Oh, no.
Live on After Hours, Bigfoot caught on thermal.
So, in between the tree, it was... You could see movement, but it wasn't the tree.
The tree wasn't moving.
Well, there's no breeze, right?
No, there is not.
And it's not there now. It's probably crap.
If these are Bigfoot, they're not afraid of people, and they're coming very close, within like 140 feet.
Yeah, approximately, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to put that on the shelf. We're going to address that later with what was seen on Saturday night. So Tammy and I, we arrive Wednesday evening. Thank you, Kipp Morrill, for bringing us up there.
Oh, boy. Hey, Kipp, where are we going?
We're going to Truckee, to a place called Safe Way, a place where they have food.
Are we there yet?
Come on, Tammy, rap.
I don't know rap.
We had a great time. Nothing's better, Tammy, than setting up camp at 10 at night.
Oh, it was awesome. We had everything that we needed. We were the sassy annex of Camp Kippistan.
That's right, Sassy Camp. And that night, you got to meet the winner of Bigfoot Bounty, Stacy Brown.
Yes. Yeah, we partied.
Oh, look, on Facebook, I just got a friend request.
From who?
Rick Dyer.
No way. No way.
Rick Dyer, would you like me to suck your dick?
Edit. Bleep.
No, I'm keeping that in there.
No. We're not giving him any airtime. Move on.
Thank you. Okay, moving on. Back to Stacy Brown. Seriously.
Yes.
Here's what I've always told you about Stacy. I love his personality. I thought he was funny. He's charismatic. He's extremely talented on the guitar. He is a true musician through and through. And Tammy, if you recall, when he was not hanging around us, he was always practicing on the guitar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's serious about his music, although I'm not sure if his type of music is Sasquatch approved, Rick.
I wonder where you got that from. Moving on. All right, so we arrive Wednesday night. Things are cool. We're hanging with Justin. Theresa Finch arrives. Theresa is a FLIR user. She has been, I would say, trained by Bart Catino. She is well versed in handling FLIR equipment. I really don't. Tammy, how would you say? I'm not. Gosh.
FLIR's not your thing.
I'm learning. FLIR.
I love FLIR.
Okay, now Tammy has taken the ball.
I love FLIR.
Yes, Tammy has taken the ball and gone running with the FLIR. Tammy's on the FLIR?
No, I'm not. I'm on the parabolic.
It takes. I will say this, Tammy, you have impressed me with the amount of time that you spent with the FLIR and how you're able to... But, you know, you're like that with everything that's electronic. People are always asking you to fix their computers. Today, at your glass blow thing, you were fixing someone's junky, shitty computer. So, you know, here you are with the FLIR. 2 seconds later, you've got it all mastered, and you're looking and using it and showing Janine how to use it. You know, so yay, Tammy.
Well, it's something that I don't have access to because I don't have one, and I don't have any friends here locally that I go Bigfooting with that have, a lot of expensive equipment. We do it the old-fashioned way, but, there's nothing wrong with that either. That's, probably how most people have their Bigfoot encounters is, without all the technology.
Mm-hmm.
But they are something that you need to work with and learn how to use and practice and understand what you're looking at, because everything is a Bigfoot when you don't know what you're looking at.
Now, Tammy, I got to ask you, Tammy, do you prefer the white heat signature, the black heat, or when it shows up as red?
I like the red, but the one that I was using didn't show the red heat signature. It was actually a rifle scope with FLIR technology, and I've asked Justin because I only actually saw it in the dark. That's all the times that I was using it. I think it's an Armacite with the FLIR technology, but I really was comfortable with it. I would love to have one like that. Of course, I want it mounted on a rifle.
Now, Tammy, you want to put a FLIR scope on a rifle?
Hell yeah.
Does that mean you are pro-kill?
Many things that you could hunt for with a scope like that. One of the things that they advertise a use for is hunting wild hogs. And I'm all about the bacon.
So, nice way of avoiding the question. Tammy, are you pro-kill of Bigfoot?
I would like to see a specimen collected in some form or fashion, yes. I would like to see a specimen collected to end the debate and to proceed with proof of a species.
Okay, then. Now, Tammy, I'm going to ask you this. If Rictor, myself, is pro-kill, how would I kill a Bigfoot?
Well, I guess that's up to you. How would you kill a Bigfoot? Would you use your lightsaber?
Did I get it?
Yes. I think you killed it. Nice.
Yes, I would kill Bigfoot with my lightsaber.
Yes, because those lightsabers are real, people.
Not only that, Tammy, but you have seen me handle a weapon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you need more training.
That's why I'm going to stick with the lightsaber.
Not put your finger on the trigger. Primary safety. Straight ahead there, okay? Do not point this at anybody unless you intend to kill them. All right?
What'd I do?
Don't point it at the cameraman. All right.
I don't want to kill
Now
Todd.
pose.
Pose.
Here, drop this off. Okay, put it up to your shoulder like you're going to shoot it.
Like that. Oh, look.
Brace it on your shoulder. Primary safety. Don't point at the cameraman. Okay, don't point at the people up there. There you go. Good enough.
You're doing good.
Well, thank you.
I'm just, I fear for my life when you have a gun in your hand, but it's okay.
Thanks. Back on Wednesday night, Theresa arrives, and we get to know Theresa. You're getting to know Stacy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very quiet evening with just the few of us with Kipp and Justin, and around 3:30 we all kind of decide to go to bed. The forest is deadly quiet. It is so silent. The moon is 3/4 full, so it's extremely bright. You can see everything out there in the forest. Not a sound. Kind of eerie, gotta say. It was a little
spooky.
You know. Okay, spooky. Michael Lorentz says the kill site is spooky. Would you agree with him?
Well, there's a lot of really tall trees, and when the moon is shining like that, you see a lot of shadows.
Ooh, shadows, ladies and gentlemen. That is another little subject you're going to put on the shelf. Continue.
Yes, put it right on the shelf. Anyway, but there was no wind that first night, so it was extremely quiet. You could hear things way off in the distance, like any coyotes or animals, but I wasn't really hearing any animal noises until
5:08 a.m. in the morning. We heard very distinct coyote chirps, wails. They were interesting. At first it didn't sound like a coyote, but it had the hey, added to it. I'm gonna write it off as coyotes, Tammy. What do you think? Because I woke you up.
Definitely coyotes. They were having a little conversation. That's why you heard the chirpy sounds. But it sounded like there was a group of them, and they were coming from, one direction. I don't know which direction it was from where we were camped, but anyway, definitely coyotes.
I gotta say, the echo in that little valley was pretty intense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sound really carries well up there, and that's very helpful when you're sitting there with a parabolic microphone.
Bringing that up, I got this on eBay. Now, it's considered a toy. It was $40. We use these on Bigfoot Bounty. And, Tammy, would you say these work pretty well?
I was really impressed. I could not believe how well I could hear with that thing once I figured out how to use it.
So there we are in our tent. We're listening. Nothing else happens for another hour and a half. And then came at 6:30 in the morning 2 very distinct wood knocks. Now, we're not talking tap, tap or, wood falling from a tree. It's like whack, whack.
Yeah.
Very, very close. Tammy, thoughts? You're more skeptical than I am. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know what would make a sound like that. There's probably 2 possible answers. Would be a human with a stick whacking on a tree, and the other one would possibly be a Sasquatch, I guess.
Now, I immediately jumped out of the tent to see if maybe it was Justin doing something. Maybe Stacy Brown was, beating up his guitar. Maybe it was Kipp, whose tent was right next to us, or his tent site was next to us. Nobody was awake. No one was there. Now, generally, the easiest explanation tends to be the right one. It could have been deer fighting, bucks. I mean, we did see a few 3-pointers out there. But we didn't see any deer near the campsite. Thank you, Village Idiot. Could there have been a human that was nearby? Possibly. Because the weekend, a few days later, Tammy, you saw a human on your FLIR.
Yeah, I definitely had a clear sighting with my FLIR the first time, besides chipmunks running around on the ground, and I did see a coyote on Thursday night. There was a person with a flashlight walking around. I saw it before I actually saw it through the FLIR. I saw a flashlight shining in the trees up on the road up above camp.
And it wasn't one of us?
It was not one of you guys, and in that same time frame, I had heard some other interesting things. Which, are we going to go ahead and talk about that?
No, we're gonna put that on the shelf. Okay. So the reason why I bring up this person that Tammy saw with the FLIR on Saturday night, there are humans in the area, and they're not cool. They're not cool people. There was an individual that has interfered with Bart Coutinho's investigation up there. And that asshole could have very easily been up there as well. So don't know. Could have been a person, could have been a Bigfoot. We don't know what it was, but it was definitely loud enough to wake me up and wake up Tammy and document everything that we see and we hear. And trust us, we were documenting everything. We are Bigfoot researchers in serious training. We have Dr. Disatel giving us the do's and don'ts.
Yeah, and to clarify, we did not see a person on Thursday morning when we heard the 2 wood knocks. We didn't know about the other person in the area until Saturday night.
Yeah, but Tammy, when you put together the pieces of a puzzle,
right, they may have already been there.
But see, here's what I think. I think there is at least one large Sasquatch with 18-inch print impressions in the area. I found a great-looking foot impression when I was out hiking with Michael Lorentz, and then on Saturday afternoon with Theresa when we did our follow-up investigation with what she saw. We found two, and Tammy, you saw that one that was the right foot turning away.
Mm-hmm.
That matched that 18-inch impression. So 3 different footprint impressions. Were they castable? No, but they were definitely... Dry. What's that?
It's too dry up there.
Very dry, but they were it was definitely a heavy animal, and it was definitely there.
Yeah, there's impressions. I also saw a possible bear track whenever we were walking up on our hike on Friday afternoon. So, you know, but there's no food because it's of the drought, so there's no berries on the bushes, the manzanita bushes, so we didn't see any other signs of bear in the area.
Now, that was now Thursday morning. We heard those wood knocks, the coyote yelps. And Thursday afternoon, Justin, myself, Stacy, and Kipp went for a very long hike.
Kipp and Justin and Stacy have a hard time keeping up. Can't keep up with the Rictor. Bigfoot territory. Okay, well, we just had lunch, and Kipp and I...
Smell that?
What?
It smells like dead animal, and it's coming from up that way on the hill.
Well, they do say Bigfoot smells like dead animal.
Found that there is water up there. There is a stream. There's underground streams that are leaking out there. The animals up there are able to get water, even though there's a serious drought. And let me tell you guys, that drought is no joke. If you were to start an illegal fire, it would be very, very catastrophic. It was scary to say. I mean, everything's dry. There's no water.
Yeah, it's just brown. I mean, which it's usually starts to turn brown that time of year, but everything is just dry. The most beautiful thing was when we were up hiking on the hill where the spring comes out of the side of the mountain, and that whole side of that mountain is just lush green. Mm-hmm. And you know, that to see that in all that drought was really pretty, and I did get some pictures of that and posted them on my Facebook page.
Now, we came with our very own firefighter, Kipp Morrill, mm-hmm. and I'm glad we had him along. He taught us the do's and don'ts. He also had great equipment. Thursday, I had to learn how to shit in the woods.
Yeah, so we got to use Kipp's shovel for all of our poop runs.
And thank you, Tammy, for that photograph.
You're welcome. Somebody had to do it. Might as well have been me.
So... Thursday night, we really didn't have anything happen. Nothing. Quiet. Another quiet night. Friday is when the paying members of the expedition arrived. One lady came from New Jersey. Mm-hmm. Another fellow came from Southern California.
Mm-hmm. And I think I can go ahead and say that we have made a really good new friend in Janine, who joined us on Friday from New Jersey.
Yes, I nicknamed her Smokes because she was always smoking. Yeah, so Janine became well-versed with the FLIR.
Yeah, and the parabolic.
We also had another gentleman come from Portland, Neil, and he had a lot of awesome stories and theories on Bigfoot, which added to the whole experience, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say that we had an eclectic mix of researchers, you know, all different points of views, not necessarily the same or not necessarily agreeing with each other, but we had a really good mix. Not everybody agreed with each other's theories on Bigfoot, but it was a nice eclectic mix.
So, Friday night. I am a night owl. I work graveyard, and I'm able to stay up all night. Tammy does not work graveyard, and she and Janine would call it quits about 2 o'clock in the morning, 1:30.
Something like that, yeah. We're
Stacy.
older than I am anyway.
The old ladies call it quits after a good one for the Gipper. They stayed out as long as they could.
Well, we went hiking too, remember? We were tired.
That's true.
Well, we heard some snaps and noises. Now I have the FLIR, which I was just trained on, and we're trying to see what's going on out there.
Is this your first time bigfooting?
Yeah, it is. Now, be quiet, Rictor.
Ouch.
So everyone retired. Ro went to sleep. Stacy and Justin went to their campsites. So I was by myself with Theresa Finch, who had a FLIR. And we were sitting around the food commissary area, I guess you'd call it.
The commissary, yeah, that's good. The cafeteria.
And it was just us. We were keeping warm. And we were talking about all things Bigfoot, talking about, how attractive and handsome Bart Coutinho is. And I brought my Jambox speaker. And I thought it would be kind of cool to do some, quote-unquote call blasting, whatever you want to call it. And I played what I consider to be what I heard on Bigfoot Bounty, the Washington Puyallup screams. And Skonomish, Snomish, Gushgosh, I can't. Yeah, Native American names and I don't get along. So Snomish, yeah. Whatever.
Are you going to insert a sample of that?
Yes.
Okay.
I play those really scary, creepy screams, and of course the shit echoes throughout the entire valley because it's dead quiet, and this thing is powerful, and it just plays.
So are you saying that a small portable speaker like that could be heard all across that little valley area there?
Yes, absolutely.
Good reference for something that happened on Saturday night. Okay, continue.
And Theresa was, periodically looking through the FLIR, looking, nothing. And I'm talking, and, Rictor, blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden, Miss Finch is sitting there, frozen, with her FLIR to her eye, and she is mumbling. And we were engaged in a really great conversation, talking about family issues and things of, personal nature. And I'm like, what's the matter with you? Why are you mumbling? And she's like, I see something. And then she says, my heart is pounding. And I'm like, what do you see? Well, I'm looking around. I don't have a FLIR. Tammy took the FLIR with her to bed. And she said, it's standing behind that tree by Stacy's tent. And I get up to go after it. And she's like, don't leave me. Don't leave me alone. She was so frozen in fear at what she was seeing on the FLIR. And I said, why don't you hit record? So when she hits record, the thing shut down. She didn't have new batteries on her, and I guess it required a special kind of screwdriver. It's not like you just pop the switch and out comes the batteries. This FLIR Scout requires you to use a screwdriver to put in the batteries. I know. Come on, FLIR. You can do better than that. Sadly, the thing shut down on her. And she had to go pee. And I'm sitting there in the dark. And I'm like ready to go because I have my, where is it? I'll have to show you. My HD camera, which has night vision. And I have an additional IR infrared light. And she didn't want me to go. She didn't want me to leave her. She finally got the FLIR to come back on. And whatever it was that was by the tree was gone. Now, she wasn't sure if it was lichen, the moss that grows on the trees, because it could have very well have been moss. But whatever it was large, and it was moving. So when she turns the FLIR back on, it's gone. It's not there.
Dang it. I can't believe that thing's gone. I gotta get in my spot. I know exactly where I'm looking. I can see it every time. What the hell? I'm kind of creeped out by this.
Okay, so it's about 4:40 in the morning. Theresa here saw red between two trees. It was moving.
very slightly.
She described it as a conical shape.
Yeah, rounded.
Your heart was beating?
My heart, yes, it was pounding when I was watching it. I feel nervous now. And it's not there.
There's no wind. There's no smell.
A lot of smoke.
I said we walk over. Or try and walk up here. Maybe 30 feet.
You're a tease.
She's with Rictor. Nothing's going to happen to her. Bigfoots don't like gay people. Here's the best part, guys. How far was it from Stacy Brown's tent?
Less than 100 feet.
The motherfucker's sleeping through this. Unless Stacy's smoking bud, and it's kind of curious. Like, what is that smell?
Skunk.
Skunk.
Shoot, Rictor. It's not there.
Let's walk. And let's not act like we're onto it.
Okay. I can almost point to where that tree is. I'm not going to point. Act inconspicuous and turn over. That's why you're echoing in.
Can you record on the FLIR?
When I do that, it shuts off.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've got my camera going.
It's almost out of batteries. God dang it, Rictor. It's gone. I'm scared. You can go.
Why are you scared?
Because I don't think they're nice. I think they want to harm. And I don't think they're stupid.
If they wanted to harm us or scare us.
But what good does it do? We can't record anything. It was thin.
Well, the one Justin shot was thin.
Shut up.
It wants revenge on Justin Smeja. We will take you to Justin's tent. We're all for the Bigfoot having revenge on Justin Smeja.
I'll show you the tree.
Let's go now. Come on.
No. I won't go.
Grab the knife. We can get some DNA if we cut it. I'm serious. Dr. Disatel wants some blood. Doesn't matter if it's your blood.
We decide, okay, we're going to call it a night. Tomorrow we're going to look and see if we can find any evidence. We're going to do a follow-up. I was tempted to text Stacy and say, wake up, you southern boy. There's something near your tent. But I didn't. I figured he needed his sleep after his whole gator arm situation. You know, I've never seen anyone in my entire life become so petrified with fear before. Everything changes. Skin coloring, the tone of voice, behavior. I felt I did the right thing by staying with her. I don't know. You know, you don't know how you're going to react in a situation like that. I asked her when she was looking at the thing on the FLIR, do you want me to continue talking, you know, gesturing the way I was, being Rictor Riolo, you know, or do you want me to, you know, shine my laser scope? I have an amazing laser scope over in that direction. And she said, no, Bart Catino doesn't want people shining lights into the forest because it'll freak out and make them leave. Okay, so Bart Catino's not with us, but yet we are still Bigfooting under Bart Catino's guidelines. Okay, fine, I can adapt. So no lightsabers turned on and no laser scope, and it's just Theresa with the FLIR that the batteries are like completely gone. So I'm kind of bummed that we didn't have extra batteries on us and a screwdriver, because I think this would have been amazing FLIR footage of whatever that she saw. The next day, I'm jumping ahead a little bit because there's something else I want to add. The next day when we did our follow-up, that's where I found an 18-inch foot impression by the tree that she was looking at. It was a left foot, so it could very easily have been standing on left foot and looking over at us. And as it turned and walked away, it left on its right foot to, let's say, maybe, I don't know, what would you say, 30-degree angle, Tammy?
Yeah, something like that. It was really hard to tell because only the impression by the tree was somewhat clear, and it really wasn't clear enough to tell what it was. It was an impression. You couldn't tell if it was for sure a footprint, but the other one actually looked like the heel sunk in because there's all of those little critters running around there, and they dig little holes in the ground, and it looked like it stepped on one of those places where the ground had been disturbed by one of those little burrowing chipmunks or whatever, and sunk down in that when it turned and stepped, whatever it was.
There was no feces. There was no hair. I was equipped with DNA forensic collecting material to bring back if we found anything. I had sterile test tube containers. I had sterile Q-tips, sterile latex gloves. I was packed. Tammy, you can vouch. You saw what I brought.
Mm-hmm. Per instructions from Dr. Todd Disatel.
Unfortunately, there was nothing of any DNA evidence to be brought back. But I did...
We well know that footprints are not biological evidence.
Okay, so last night at about 4:30 in the morning, Theresa's sitting here. I'm sitting right there. Your line of sight, where were we looking at?
See where that first little tree is, and then the second one behind it? That's where it was.
Okay, we're gonna walk over there, so I'm gonna walk over. I'll be Bobo.
I want to go too.
Huh?
I want to go too.
Well, then all of us then. Well,
yeah.
For the size comparison thing.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, so go back right where she's standing.
There you go, right here. Yeah, you can't reach it because it was actually taller than that, but you standing there is really good. That's how it looked.
Yeah.
That's where I said I thought the tree, it was moving like this, but the tree was right there. There was no breeze.
So, you think it was standing right here, looking
and
over?
I thought it was, like, see that stuff right there?
Yeah, like it.
So I thought, but it was sticking out. And then I had to...
There's no lichen here.
I know, I see that. That's what I thought.
And if you
that's why I was trying to convince myself that it was lichen.
So from the point of view, it was clear if it was standing right here, looking right at us at the fire.
And like just a little move.
So if you could see, it was kind of creepy, huh?
Yep. You want me to walk towards it? No way.
Alrighty, what kind of FLIR is this?
FLIR Scout.
Yeah? And why didn't we not get it recorded last night?
The SD card was full, so when I pushed record, it shut it off.
Okay, so we're going to fix that.
Square this way, and then look at that. But first, you decide. Look at the toes.
Yeah, it was definitely a left foot.
And then here's one here. You're in the sun, but you can see the toes right here. Same thing, so it stepped away. That won't show up there.
No, but
everybody's clomping around here, but if that's a right...
It went that way.
Yeah. Through the clear, but in the brush. You know, keeping cover. But that, you didn't do that.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
I'll put my foot next to it. Okay, my foot is smaller compared to that. This is a size 13 boot.
When you think of it, look, if you're that thing,
yeah,
and what I saw, it was like that, with this. Like
Let me
this.
see.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Okay.
So I'm not stepping in it, but.
Right.
And this, and then I saw this. And that's the thing that freaked me out.
All right, can I have my Diet Coke now?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, my cocktail waitress.
But Tammy, let's put all the pieces together. This is why I'm inclined to think we did have a visitor that night on Friday night watching our camp. That foot impression, what Theresa saw on the FLIR, scared the hell out of her. It was 140 feet from where we were sitting. It's about the same distance where those creatures that Barkatino filmed on his FLIR from where Ro and Justin were by their campfire 2 years ago. Very close. That night, we didn't hear anything. It had left. It was on Saturday night, Theresa and I had stayed up once again. It was a very chilly night. Nothing on FLIR. She had her batteries with her this time just in case it were to happen again. There was nothing there at that spot where she originally had seen this thing by the tree. Nothing there. I guess Bigfoot doesn't go to the same spot apparently, which makes sense. When we went to bed at 3:30 on Saturday night after deciding to call it quits, nothing's happening, nothing's showing up near the campsite, no sounds, nothing. We went to bed right when we put our heads down on the pillow. We heard an owl, whoo, followed by whoo, 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 ape sounds. And then it continued down the hill, not flying. Unless owls can suddenly fly in slow motion the speed of walking down a hill. I don't think so. Whatever this was trying to mimic an owl sound followed by ape sounds. I clearly heard it, and Theresa also heard it as well. Theresa records everything. She has a real fancy little audio recorder. I don't know if she got that on recording. Nonetheless, that was extremely interesting because you could hear it as it was going down the hillside.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. I think I was sleeping.
What Theresa and I had, we think, was an 8-foot tall possible Sasquatch. Can't say it was, but it all looks like it could have been. We are in the right place, the right location. Quite a few similarities with the ones that were near Barkatino and Ro and Justin 2 years ago. You know, Tammy, you experienced a rock throw with Kipp and Janine out of nowhere.
Yeah, we tried to blame Kipp, but he didn't do it.
I don't know. Tammy, what do you think? Do you think that could have been a Bigfoot that freaked out Theresa and was watching the two of us?
Well, something was there. Well, let's go on and talk about the other things that you saw on Saturday night, earlier that evening when you were out on the road, you know, away from the kill site.
Hey, guys,
What's the plan?
Serious shit. So, you see a Squatch, which you will tonight.
Blow it the fuck away. No?
You throw something at it.
Oh.
Like a rock or something.
And I just remember this one thing, too, that when you're out there tonight, whatever it is, whatever the sound is, whatever you might hear, that's a Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Always jump to that
and,
first
and
conclusion.
And if it sounds like an owl, it might be a Sasquatch imitating an owl.
And if there's something on the hill,
and if I'm talking to you,
And if it looks like a person,
imitating,
go ahead and shoot it. You don't want to miss the opportunity in case
And
it is an actual Sasquatch.
And if you are following a Sasquatch and it disappears, it went into a portal.
And don't cuss around them.
And look out for orbs.
and importantly, don't be gay.
I hate that fucking
That's right.
Don't be gay with Sasquatch.
Good idea.
Don't be a bottomless Sasquatch.
Okay, so who wants to move? Who's gonna?
What do you want to do?
Who's down for a 2.5 hour ride?
Gnarly.
That's how long it's gonna be.
2 hour ride?
And when
3 hours. Not it.
Well, it ain't gonna be any less.
Yeah.
Wait, ride or just down?
Ride.
It's gonna take us 30 minutes to get there.
Look at that.
30 minutes to get there, and then we're gonna spend.
It's fantastic.
Okay, so we need people to stay at camp while everybody goes squatching. So Tammy stays with Janine at base with the FLIR and with the phones because we have great Verizon reception up there. And Neil stays with them as well with his parabolic equipment.
And then we're gonna.
If I stay here with Janine,
We're gonna
then we
squatch
can
a couple hard
FLIR and
hours and then come
parabolic.
back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want
And
to
one
leave
of us
camp
might not
without
make it
somebody
back
here.
alive.
You don't want?
I don't want to leave camp empty without anybody here.
Myself, Shawn Evidence, Stacy Brown, Justin Smeja, and a new guy that joined us. His name is Al. We were in one car. The other car was Theresa, Ro, and Ro's friend Jeff. And the two of us went in two different directions to meet back at base camp at 12:30 a.m.
Okay, so tonight's plan, we're gonna set up 3 teams. We did some call blasting here in camp. We're gonna leave behind 1 FLIR in camp and 3 people. Justin and Stacy are headed over to what's known as Camp B. They're taking a FLIR. They're going with Rictor, and in what we call Four Corners, another spot down the road. Several of the participants in this in Bigfoot Nation weekend are going to hit it hard, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to meet at a central location after 2 hours, and hopefully somebody gets a FLIR. We're going 3 FLIRs and 3 separate. Yeah, right.
So, right.
It's been quiet.
It
has been quiet for a few nights, so hoping for some action tonight.
Ro's team didn't have anything happen. They felt creeped out where they were exploring, but nothing concrete, nothing to tell. However, I am with my buddies, Justin and Stacy and Al and Shawn Evidence. I am constantly recording with my HD camera. We go to different spots. We find deer with their eye shine blinking right back at us. We got that on FLIR. It's pretty cool. And we then take this one abandoned road that has not been maintained. It is so overgrown with forest and brush that as Shawn is driving his car, the trees and bushes and whatnot are scraping both sides of the car. That's how overgrown this road is. We drive up for quite a bit, maybe, I don't know, quarter mile, if that. I'm being very generous. Shawn wasn't feeling too comfortable. He didn't want his car to get scraped up any more than what it was being. And it was being scraped up pretty bad. So I volunteered to step out of the car to help Shawn back it up. Because it's not like he can just do an automatic U-turn. This road was so tight that he had to back it up, go forward, back it up, go forward, back it up, go forward. You know what I'm talking about? You get my gist? And as he finally gets the car reversed, I knew they were going to do this. They go speeding by me as if they were going to leave me in the middle of nowhere. Okay, I knew they were going to do it. It's like, come on, guys. So cliche. Don't be cliche with the gay. Anyways, they go speeding by.
Way to go, friends.
It's fine. and I'm standing there, and I hear behind me on the dirt road, remember it's a dirt road here, a thunk. It was a thunk. It wasn't wood hitting, it was rock hitting dirt thunk. I hear all kinds of thunks in my life. Just because I'm a city boy doesn't mean I've never heard a rock hitting dirt before. It was a thunk. And it prompted me to go running back after them because I said, oh my God, I just heard something. So the car comes to a stop. I catch up to them. They probably went maybe, 200 feet. They really didn't go that far for me.
Would you say that may have been the fastest you've ever ran in your life?
No, but what happens next will be the fastest thing I ever did in my entire life. I catch up to the car. Stacy's giggling, Justin's laughing, Shawn is laughing, and I'm like, guys, I'm not running because you guys were going to leave me. I'm running because I just heard something up there on the road. I heard a rock or something hit the dirt. And just then, now Stacy Brown has a different story to this, but then, coming from Gator Boy, okay, trust the Rictor here. Just then, after I tell them that I heard something on the dirt road, a rock hit the ground, behind me, like very too fucking close behind me, I hear a wood snap.
Oh, shit.
Snap! It was so freaking loud, and it was right behind me. I jumped back in the car like a girl. Whoosh! I was like all freaked out, and then I'm like, wait a minute, what am I doing back in the car? So I jump back out of the car, and I'm looking. Al grabs the FLIR, and he's looking with the FLIR, and he sees 2 heat signatures in the FLIR about 40 yards from where we are. And he's very enthusiastic, and he's excited, and he's calling out to it and stuff, and I can't see it. I'm not the FLIR person, and I'm standing there with my camera.
How come I'm the one standing outside? Nobody else is?
I'm scared. Yeah, I'm not going out there.
I'm afraid if I get out, I'm going to lose it.
You hear giant footsteps. I'm not going to go out there.
I mean, I see it, just the top of its head. It's not enough to light up. It's behind something big now.
I'll go shower you with that pistol. Do you think we should just turn it on and fucking shoot it?
Want me to?
As long as Rictor's recording, yes.
I'm recording.
Okay, I'm shining right where in the direction I'm looking in. Can you see anything?
Let me zoom in.
Oh my god. And now there's something really fucking tall and black. Oh my god, this is fucking nuts. But we can't record it with these.
It's done.
Stacy Brown stays in the back seat of the car. I don't know what he was doing. Justin, I go, Justin, do you see something? And Justin had his FLIR, and Justin's words were, quote, I see movement. Nothing else happens. Whatever it was, leaves. And we get back in the car, and we leave, and we document the exact location of this interesting wood snap, possible rock throw location. The wood snap, that close to me, when it's pitch quiet, there's no wind, guys. Could have been a bird flapping, taking off, or landing on a branch. A big bird, maybe a turkey jumping on a branch, making it snap. But it was the loudest snap ever. And I jumped through my skin back into the car, and I was like, oh my god, what the hell am I doing back in the car? I'm not here to jump back in the car. So I jumped back outside. You know, if it's a Bigfoot, you know, I don't want to be hiding in the car. It's funny how your natural reaction to something scary, you know, you don't realize what you're doing until, you know, you're running or you're back in the car. Mm-hmm. So we have interesting FLIR footage. I'm glad we've got something. Tammy, you saw the footage. You called it a blob squatch.
Mm-hmm.
But there is something there between the 2 trees looking at us, and it was the Stacy Brown's FLIR. So therefore, the heat signature is very, very dark, darkish gray, whereas all the trees are very whitish, light gray.
Yeah, and I have not seen it stabilized. I only saw the raw footage right after you did it, and I just saw a little short piece of it, so I don't know.
Was it a Bigfoot? I don't know. I didn't feel threatened. I did not smell anything. Now, here's what Stacy Brown said. Oh, let me read you his exact text. Now, Stacy Brown, he's my buddy. I love him. But he's also kind of like a Debbie Downer. I'm gonna impersonate Stacy Brown here. Not to be a dick, but I want no part of that. There wasn't no Bigfoot there. I don't know if you know this, but those are trees. Now he's referring to Al. He's never used a thermal before, and this is what everyone does. Also, the snap that you jumped back in the car about was Justin dropping his phone. We were laughing about it. Okay, guys, I know direction. I know. Okay, I'm gonna put drop. Okay, that happened right in front of me. Okay, back here, I know that's behind me. It's not like I'm going to be confused. It's dead quiet. It's not like there's a bunch of noise happening where I can't make out where directional noise is coming from. That snap wasn't... Okay, unless Justin broke his cell phone and took a fucking sledgehammer to it and went whack. Okay, I'll buy that, Stacy Brown. But this snap happened right behind me. Okay, it wasn't... Oh, dropped the phone. Okay, maybe Justin did drop his phone in the car at the same time I heard the snap that happened behind me. Possibly. Could have happened. Could I be imagining all of this and Stacy Brown isn't even real and a part of my imagination? Of course. This all could be a dream, right? But I can only tell you what I heard and what I experienced. I don't think everything that we see or hear is a Bigfoot, but that had been something threw something that made a rock throw. Now, did Stacy Brown or Justin throw a rock all the way from where their car was to scare me? It could have hit me. I don't think they would have done that. You know, so you know what, guys? I'm going to show what we got. You guys decide for yourselves. It was cool getting the shit scared out of me. I'd go back there again in a heartbeat. Gosh, I don't know, Tammy. Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think Stacy Brown is right that I reacted to Justin dropping his cell phone?
I don't think you're crazy. I think that you know, it could have been any number of things. You said you saw deer. A crack sound could have been the deer moving around in the, you know, behind the tree. I don't know. I haven't seen the stabilized FLIR footage yet, so you know, I guess it remains to be seen if we vacation on it. But you know, you hear noises, things go bump in the night. It's scary. It's spooky. You know, especially when you're out on an abandoned road like that in the woods,
where there would be no people. We didn't see any of the cars there. There was nobody there. You know, which is, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, and how many miles do you think you were from where I was?
I'm gonna say 7.
Okay,
yeah.
So you were a good distance away.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings me back to what was going on back at the kill site, which is where camp was while you were gone. You know, we mentioned earlier that I saw a person on the Armacite scope with the FLIR technology.
Mm-hmm.
And it was clearly a person. Bigfoot does not carry a flashlight, last time I checked. Although if anybody has any proof that Bigfoot carries a flashlight, I'd be happy to hear your story. But what happened while you guys were off doing that, and this was all in about a 30-minute period, the person that was with us was Neil, and he had some pretty spiffy recording equipment, which is top secret, but Sasquatch approved. And he was recording with a pretty sensitive microphone all the sounds. Janine was using the parabolic, and I had the FLIR scope. So Neil had played a female Sasquatch howl, and then, you know, we had all the stuff set up, and then we waited to see what kind of response we got. Well, then that's about the time that, I guess about 30 minutes later, we got a couple of howls, and they were damn good howls. But here's the thing. They sounded electronically generated. And that was about the same time that I saw the flashlight in the trees and then saw the person on the FLIR. So I assumed when I saw the person that you guys were out there call blasting with a speaker, and it sounded like the Ohio howls off of the BFRO website, like a cleaned up version of that, the same type of howl. The person was up there. I watched him in the FLIR for a little bit, and then I was like, well, I'm not going to stare at one of our own people up there, you know, with a flashlight on the FLIR. So I quit watching. I don't know what happened. After that, I figured that, you know, if we were putting out a female Bigfoot howl from down where we were, and we were getting howls back from up there from a person with a flashlight, there really wasn't much point to it, was there?
No.
So not too long after that is when, you know, I was a little frustrated because I thought there was a, you know, that we were working against each other, and so we kind of called it a night with the recording equipment and everything, and then you guys came back. So you know, I don't know who it was, because when you guys came back, you guys said that none of you were up on that road, and that was the road where you could see down into camp leading in. So they were gone when you came back through because you didn't see anybody.
I'm thinking it was definitely probably the individual that has interfered with Bart Catino. But then, guys, you know what? Law enforcement, Fish and Game had visited us that day. It could have been them.
Yeah, Saturday we had a visit from government officials.
Now, let's play this little video. I'm going to put the cleaned up version in the actual edit of the show, but for the people that are watching us right now.
Okay, hi, I'm Rictor from After Hours with Rictor, the #1 Bigfoot Webcast, and I'm here at Justin Smeja's kill site, and law enforcement is here. So, we've got a lot to talk about on the next Bigfoot show. Uh-oh.
All right, so that afternoon, I've been craving a hamburger from Bassett Station. Everybody talks about their burgers. Even Meldrum's talked about it. I want a burger. I'm tired of the camp food. I want a burger. I want a burger. I want a burger. I want a burger. So I go with Shawn and his wife and family, and Ro, Stacy, and Justin go as well to pick up another individual, Al, who is coming up the hill. So we leave at camp. Tammy, Janine, and Neil, Kipp Morrill, and Bigfoot researcher John Harper. Now, Kipp and John went on their quads, their ATV-like vehicles, and went to go check out trail cams and do exploring, doing Bigfoot stuff. Mm-hmm. So Tammy is left alone with Janine and Neil at camp. I'm going to let Tammy take over.
So I'm sitting in a chair by the tent, and I see a truck coming down the road. It's a white pickup with a green stripe on it. And so, you know, I got a little concerned. Let's say I got a lot concerned because I was there basically, you know, with just a couple other people. The people that were actually running this expedition were nowhere near where we were. And we're Bigfooters.
Wah, wah, wah. Burgers come first.
we're Bigfooters out in the woods. And here comes Fish and Game and the Forestry Service to see what we're doing out there.
Now, how many trucks?
I think there were 3 trucks.
4, baby. There was 4. 2 law enforcement and 2 Fish and Game.
They came in one at a time, slowly. The first one came in, then the second one came in a few minutes later. They kind of snuck in on us like that. After the guys got out of the first truck and started questioning us of what we were doing, then the others came in while they were questioning us, and they did good cop, bad cop on us. You know, while one cop was interviewing me and questioning me about, you know, what we were doing, our research, our equipment that we used, if we had any guns, fire permits, blah, 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 blah. The other guys were searching our camp, looking at our equipment, looking in our tents, writing down tag numbers, running tags. Yeah, it was real fun.
Now, we're at Bassett Station eating. I get a shake. Got to use an actual toilet this time. And, you know, we then leave Bassett Station to go back to camp. And as we're pulling in, we see these 4 pickup trucks. And we're like, oh, shit. What happened? What's going on?
That's one of the many words I said when I saw the first one coming down the hill.
And as we get out of the car, they speak to Ro, and they speak to Justin. They were really interested in Justin Smeja. I then walk over to camp where Tammy and Janine were, and Tammy, you told the police officer that I was gay.
Mm-hmm. I did. I also told him that we had the #1 Bigfoot webcast.
And that, yeah. So I'm like,
that did break the ice. That did break the ice.
Okay, good, because then I used that as my angle. Because then I'm like, okay, so they know I'm gay. Great. And then Tammy's like, well, they can know just by looking at you. So,
duh.
I walk over to the kind of cute one. He was the short one. And I had my cell phone in my hand. And he says to me, do I need to confiscate that? And I look at him and I'm like, is that all you want to confiscate? And he had the biggest smile on his face. He was flirtatious, and he was kind of playful. He wasn't gay. Yeah, he wasn't gay. So since I was now building up a rapport with this cop, I then say to him, so, got a question for you. Let's say Janine here shoots and kills a Bigfoot. Would you guys stop us from taking the body? And this is what law enforcement, the forest ranger, told me. I'm going to give you his exact words. Now, kids, I hope you're listening. Since Bigfoot is an unlisted animal, and you were to shoot and kill it on national ground, we would come in and confiscate it, unquote. And here's what I said to him. Okay, so you mean to tell me we've got a body here, you're going to come and take it? And he says, exactly. And then, okay, so you're going to radio back at headquarters, oh, we've got a Bigfoot body? Are you even equipped to handle this sort of thing? The forest ranger said, well, we would do a DNA forensic test on it. And here's what I said to him. Really? And now just who do you have in mind that would be capable of handling such a tremendous scientific discovery? Who do you have in mind that would be capable of handling such a tremendous scientific discovery? We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And I was like, wow. They were being serious. They weren't patronizing me. They were.
Yeah, that's the reality right there.
So they knew Justin Smeja's story. Guys. They knew his story. And remember, Fish and Game visited Justin Smeja a few weeks after he supposedly shot and killed that Bigfoot. So Fish and Game has a bigger problem with poachers. People that shoot deer out of season. Frickin' retard.
And people that bait, kill animals for Bigfoot bait.
Gosh.
Break the law, just in general.
You know, when it comes to Bigfooting, Tammy and the audience, I look to a certain few. What would Cliff Barrickman do? What would Bart Catino do? What would Derek Randles do? I think Derek would shoot the deer if it was in season and use it as bait. You know what I mean? Because when you're a hunter, you're hunting. You're controlling population, and it is a sport, and it is legal when you act within the certain guidelines. But shooting animals outside of season for Bigfoot is wrong. It's.
I don't know. We'll have to ask Derek what he thinks about this.
Oh, let's call him up right now. Let's call him up. Can you hear that okay?
Yeah. Tell him we're live.
Yeah. Hey, Derek, this is Rictor.
Richard.
Rictor, your gay boyfriend. Come on, Rictor.
I thought you said Richard.
No.
How's it going, Rictor? What's up, brother?
Okay, Tammy and I are recording our After Hours Bigfoot webcast, and we have a question for you, being that you are a hunter.
Okay.
In regards,
I'm actually hunting as we speak.
Oh, you're hunting right now. Okay. I gotta ask, are you hunting in season?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good.
Always.
Always. Oh, you heard that there, people. He said always. Now, my question for you, Derek, you being a hunter, do you think it's right or ethical in any way, shape, or form to shoot and kill 3 deer out of season for the sole purpose of proving that Bigfoot is real?
Are you guys trying to get me to throw somebody under the bus?
No, I'm not. You're not mentioning any names. I'm asking you as a hunter. Do you think it is right and ethical to shoot and kill 3 deer out of season to prove that Bigfoot is real?
To bait Bigfoot.
In my opinion, as far as where my head's at, no, I would never do that. But I can't speak for anybody else.
Okay, now you're an
Do I think
experienced.
it's ethical? No.
Okay, so you don't think it's ethical. All right, I just wanted to make sure I was, standing on the right platform here, because I think it's totally wrong. Because where do you draw the line? Where do you say, okay, this is going a little too far here? I don't know. Okay. How long have you been a hunter?
I'm 49 years old, and I started hunting when I was 10, so 39 years.
Well, I'm going to take your word. Tammy, what do you think?
Yep. What's he hunting right now?
Yeah, Tammy says hi. You can't hear him because I've got the headphones on. She wants to know what you're What are you hunting? What are you hunting right now?
Well, actually, I'll give you a quick explanation of my day. I woke up this morning, hiked backside of the lake, and then my partner James and I went out, and we drove to CQ and got our limit of silver salmon, and now I'm up in the salt lick unit looking for a black bear.
Ooh, black bear.
It's been an amazing day.
Well, let's hope you can find a Bigfoot so you can shoot and kill it.
No, I don't want anything to do with that. I'll leave that to the other people. I want to study, not kill, so I'm not ever going to join the kill camp.
Well, there you go. Well, thanks, Derek. I'll let you get back to hunting.
All right, brother. Good night talking to you.
All right. Bye, guy.
Later.
All right. So, there you go.
After Hours with Rictor with a special guest phone call to Derek Randles.
Yeah, on the ethics of shooting and killing deer for the sole reason of proving that Bigfoot is real.
Mm-hmm.
And that's from an experienced hunter.
Yeah.
The do's and don'ts.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Gosh, I'm going over to my list. I think we've covered it all. Oh, we haven't, Tammy. We've saved the best for last, Tammy Murray.
What? Fix your cord on your neck. It's all tangled up. That looks so unprofessional.
It does it naturally. See, look at that.
It's kinky.
Okay, I'm going to give you a hint. What you forgot to talk about.
What did I forget?
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows.
Oh, that. I don't put much into that, though.
It's still interesting. It's still interesting. Come on, Tammy,
Yeah.
tell them.
And I didn't really record it because, what night was that? That would have been Thursday night. Because that was the night that it was a little bit breezy. The moon was shining Thursday night, but not as full as it was Wednesday night. And I was, you came to camp late, like about what, 3 that night or something?
Later.
Anyway, so you crashed, and I lay there awake in my tent for quite a while because my tent is tent. It's a Coleman. You can see through the walls when you're laying there, even with all the windows zipped up. It's it's thin. It's barely a 3-season tent. So I was laying there watching looking at all the trees and stuff, and I was noticing how clearly I could see through the walls of my tent. And so I guess I had strung up a little line between 2 trees to hang towels and stuff on from camp, and so I saw a shadow. I didn't hear anything, but I saw kind of a shadow move behind our tent, and I was thinking in my mind, that's a big shadow. It was either a tree or something from the wind or something. I was like, but if Bigfoot's that big, he's damn big. Because it was a large shadow kind of moving, and it just kind of passed by the tent, and then I didn't really think anything of it, but it kind of moved over towards where those towels are, and I thought, oh, he's probably going over there, if it's Bigfoot, to sniff our towels that we had used to, to wash dishes and stuff like that. And anyway, so yeah, there was a shadowy thing. I didn't hear anything. I just saw a shadow. I don't know if somebody was walking around and the moonlight got behind them, and if it was somebody in our camp that got up to take a leak. I don't know what it was, but there was definitely a shadow that moved by our tent. But it was, through the walls of the tent, so it was not really perfectly clear, but I could tell it was a shadow.
No, Ro's tent was in that direction, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Could have been Ro?
I guess it could have been, but he said it wasn't him.
Dun, dun, dun. Wow. So we saw shadows, we saw things on FLIR, we heard strange, unusual sounds, we didn't find any feces, we saw people, loads of people, since hunting season is about to begin up there on the weekend. The whole place was oversaturated with humans on Saturday and Sunday. So the way I look at it, it's to be continued.
Mm-hmm. Did you know that Bigfoot likes Christmas music?
No. Why do you say that?
Well, because I found out that there's certain music that Sasquatch approved.
Which is Christmas music?
Well, there was Christmas. I think Silent Night was playing when the government officials showed up. There was some Elvis. There was
Tammy.
What?
Who was playing this music?
Someone in camp.
Well, I'm not one to talk because I bring lightsabers.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You got me there, Rick.
Alrighty, so these are really cool Bigfoot pendants that Tammy makes. You can find them on her Etsy shop, sweetsassyglassy.com. My beautiful co-host here is available on Facebook, so you can always talk to her, see what she has in inventory. And Tammy, how many colors do you have of these?
I've got quite a few right now. I don't even have all of them posted on Etsy right now. I'm adding a few at a time as I get a chance to do it. And I'm also, I'm a glass blower also. It's fall, and I'm making pumpkins right now.
Ooh, pumpkins.
And they're also available on sweetsassyglassy.com.